Yeah, hi, my name is John Cobb. I've got 365 acres in Lewis County, and I've been into a lot of different conservation activities. One of the activities that I have from U.S. Department of Agriculture and NRCS is a timber stand improvement on 9.6 acres. It is going to pay me $296 an acre, and that comes to about $2,846.98 to be exact. And I have my good friend Jane Capizelli here with me, and we are going to talk about her willingness to help me with the timber stand improvement, thinning out trees that I don't need so I can improve the value of my forest as far as commercial timber is concerned. So Jane, what is your passion and how did you get started in becoming a technical service provider to write management plans and help people with conservation here in West Virginia?
Great. I'm a bird biologist and a forestry specialist, and I started my company in 2023. I was part-time working in Pennsylvania, and then in 2025 I came to West Virginia as a full-time private consulting forester. And the passion is all about exceptional forestry that benefits birds and people. So I want to be working with farmers, with landowners, with friends like John, and making the woods better. Usually landowners have great ideas, and we just need plans that we can do. So.
Good. Well, I have this 9.6 acres, so what is a timber stand improvement? What kind of trees am I going to take out? I mainly have poplar and just a little bit of oak, but mainly poplar in this stand. So what trees should I be taking out?
It's definitely going to be overabundant with red maple and beech. So these two species grow in the shade, and with the way West Virginia has been managed as a legacy of harvest, as these beeches and red maples just continue to overcrowd the stand. And so the TSI you want to do sometime in your plan for when you want to harvest so that your stand is more valuable, your trees that you harvest are bigger, it's easier for loggers to access so that they're in a stand that is just full of timber that they can extract, and they don't have to worry about damaging a bunch of little trees that are junk or knocking into different things like that. So actually implementation is probably one of the biggest benefits of the timber stand improvement too, is that it makes it easier to log later.
Good, good. Well, I have a couple of concerns that you basically have told me you're going to be able to have approximately 3 loggers assist me in doing this. It's important for me, for a conservation standpoint, and to be able to pass this on to my kids, a greater and better biodiverse forest, one that has, more valuable trees. So as I told you before we got together, the trees have been marked by an NRCS forester, and we just want to go in today and confirm the size, how many there are approximately, and the terrain, so you can let these loggers know what's going on. So there's a couple of things. The trees are marked, and you're going to verify that. The cuts that are going to be made, I would like them to be as low to the earth as they can possibly be made, because your point that you just made about future extraction of quality timber, it'll be better if there's not a lot of stumps in there. Mm-hmm. So that's one of my concerns. The other is I have cuddling cameras set up in there that report in on the wildlife and the vegetation in the forest. I have a tree stand in there, and I have an elevated barred owl box that I made myself, interestingly. Sweet. And I don't want those to be hit during the TSI activity. I'm concerned about the safety of the people there and about liability. What is your stand on liability with regard to the loggers and anything that may happen to them?
Yeah, typically loggers won't carry liability if they're working on different farms, maybe in the context of their logging crew, but it's definitely a barrier to getting them out on TSI. So my company's insured part-time employees up to certain hours. So I'm providing that as the value added for the landowner and for the loggers too. So that makes it helpful for them. You know, they have one of the hardest jobs in West Virginia, and it's 2% of the economy, but there's only about 600 full-time employed loggers registered with the state. And that just indicates that it's a really difficult business. You travel a lot, you're always seasonal, micro-seasonal. So something like this opportunity on John's farm, it's just a time when logging's a little bit low and you need a couple days for an extra job just to get you between logging jobs. So that's why a company like mine having the insurance and liability helps.
Great.
Otherwise you wouldn't be able to cover it. So.
Good. Well, and I think, you know, I want you to also, I have completed a conservation plan with the U.S. Department of Agriculture where I've eradicated American holly. It was very invasive on this 9.6 acres, and I've also taken out virtually all of the autumn olive. So while you're doing this pre-TSI harvest cruise today, I would like you to look at and identify GPS-wise any autumn olive or holly that I've missed. I think I know where there's one spot, and I'll try to point it out to you before we get down in there and take a look at it. But I think your service is really great. I think it's important for a landowner like myself. Most landowners are with forests are 65 years old. I've got them beat by 20 years. I'm 84. And I think that it's dangerous, as you identified, and it's important to get this done for the future value of the forest and for, as you pointed out, West Virginia's economy. So I appreciate this service that you have for myself and other landowners like myself.
That's nice.
Where can people get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you?
My email is jane@birdfolkforestry.com. That's the same as my website, www.birdfolkforestry.com. And then work cell phone, 681-422-1246. It's definitely welcome people to reach out, no matter where you are in your management stage. If you have a plan, if you're ready to implement, if you just want to get started. So we work with everybody.
Good, across the state too, wonderful.
Yeah, statewide.
Thank you very much, Jane. That's good.